This book is about how work is changing and how we as humans are going to need to change as smart machines do more. Human work is the work that only humans can do. We think critically, we solve problems, we behave ethically. These are the kinds of things that make us humans. This book is about how the world is going to change, how we as humans are going to need to change both as individuals and as a society as a result of the changing nature of human work. The reality is we have no idea what the jobs of the future will be like. Some studies say we'll create jobs, some say we'll lose jobs. What's most important is that the tasks associated with work will change. That's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on the fact that as humans, we need to do the things that only humans can do as workers. So the future is going to change. We need to pay attention to how it's changing, but it's not going to be whether or not we are losing jobs or creating jobs. It's about how work itself is changing in new and different ways. Everyone will need to change in this new world of human work. Employers, educators, philanthropy, and of course the workers themselves, they'll all need to change. As employers, we'll need to focus on the fact that the nature of who our workers are is changing and the diversity of our workforce is changing. So how we prepare people for human work will be different. As educators, we'll need to focus on the fact that as society is changing and as the needs of work are changing, learning and work are going to become more integrated. We'll need to focus on the fact that our job as educators is to prepare people for that human work. And as workers, of course, workers will need to change because they will need to focus on how their skills, their knowledge, and their abilities are going to need to evolve as machines do more and more of the tasks that humans do. We've lived our lives believing that there's a learning phase early in your life and a working phase that comes later. But the reality is we are all learner workers. In today's system, learning and working have become one ecosystem. That's because the knowledge, skills, and abilities that you need to perform to be successful in work and in life are things that have to be addressed over and over again over the course of your working lifetime. So there is no learning phase, no earning phase. These are the same phases working together over the course of your entire lifetime. That's what human work is about. It is about learning and earning and then bringing together this capacity to serve others that makes us these learner workers that are successful in work and in life. COVID-19 has been a great accelerator. It's actually accelerated the patterns that we've seen as a result of environmental change, political change, economic change. It's accelerated those factors. So today, for example, we know that African Americans die at twice the rate of whites when it comes to COVID-19. That's an acceleration of a pattern that we've long known about racial disparity and racial injustice. We need to prepare people for human work because we need to prepare their human traits. We need to help them build their capacity to deal with these threats, to deal with these crises. That's what human work is all about. It's about actually building our compassion and our empathy and our ability to be ethical and to serve others. That's why responding to these challenges is so important, and that's what COVID-19 has actually shown us. It has shown us that we're actually accelerating the trends that have long been in place in American society. One of the people whose stories I tell in the book is Marcia McCallum, somebody who worked for 30 years to support her family as a waitress, getting her family through the day, trying to help them be successful. And then after 3 decades, she decided to build her own human skills and traits. First, she trained as a nurse, got an associate degree, and eventually she ended up working in the biotech field, building cell cultures so that you can have better information to help solve cancer. So this is an example of someone who built on their own ability to interact with people, to associate with others as a result of her work as a waitress, and now she's building her ability to solve society's problems by educating herself and actually making a difference in society. Democracy is ultimately about collective well-being, and the opposite of democracy is authoritarianism. Authoritarianism is about conformity. It's about aligning with one person or one group's ideas and values and perspective. In a democratic system, we actually have to prepare people for their civic well-being, for democracy. That means that they need to learn how to serve others, that they need to actually develop those capacities. We know from surveys that people with college degrees, for example, vote more, they volunteer more, they serve others in their community. So we need to prepare people for human work by building their democratic skills and abilities. That's why human work is so important. It's because it allows us to serve others and to make sure that we behave in a democratic way, in ways that actually serve collective well-being, not just the well-being of one or the few. You know, in the midst of a pandemic and unimaginable racial injustice, I am optimistic. I'm optimistic because I believe that we are going to turn the corner on our ability to prepare people for human work, the work that only humans can do. We are showing a tremendous amount of compassion and empathy at these moments of great societal challenge. We are demonstrating our ability to come together to solve problems. So even in the face of all of these headwinds, I believe we can solve the problems of the future, but we must prepare people for human work. We must prepare them for the work that only humans can do in this era where machines are performing more and more of the tasks that we used to perform as humans.